2025 marks a huge milestone for the Associated Builders and Contractors of Arkansas, our 50th anniversary. For half a century, we've been building excellence, empowering our workforce, and shaping the future of construction in Arkansas.
We're celebrating all year long with special events and custom swag. We'll also be sharing video testimonials from members that have helped shape ABC Arkansas, from pioneering members to the next generation of industry leaders. Stay tuned as we kick off our celebration by hearing from one of our founding members, Charles Nabholz with Nabholz Construction.
Thank you to all of our members, past, present, and future, for making ABC Arkansas what it is today.
I'm Charlie Nabholz, Chairman Emeritus at Nabholz Construction Company. I'm happy to be here today with Megan to celebrate the 50th anniversary of ABC of Arkansas. But just a little bit of backup history about ABC. It was started in Baltimore, Maryland by 7 general contractors who had some bad experiences working as union contractors, and they banded together to form an organization which eventually became a trade organization to benefit general contractors who believed in the merit shop method of construction. And the merit shop method of general contracting sometimes is a little confusing. It did not mean that you would be 100% union, because that was not the concept that the folks in Baltimore thought about when they started ABC. The idea of the merit shop means that the construction makeup on the job site could be a combination of non-union and union contractors. Primarily the general contractor always would be a non-union contractor, but if he had depended on union subcontractors to provide the best price, then that concept of working on the job site with a combination of whatever subcontractors made up the best contract for the overall contract to be determined. If you're a union subcontractor, then that meant that you could work on a non-union job without the concern of a picket line, union dispute causing a picket line to be set up. So that was a lot of that benefited a lot of general contractors and subcontractors, and so that concept worked really well then, and it works really well today. And so back in 1950, while they were organizing ABC in Baltimore, Nabholz Construction Company was just getting off the ground. It started in 1949, founded by my brother Bob Nabholz. And as Nabholz Construction Company grew, it began to depend on union business agents to supply the labor, such as carpenters, iron workers, bricklayers, and other union skilled craftsmen, as well as labor, unskilled craftsmen. They all belonged to the union, and the contractors that were growing at that time depended on the unions to supply the labor forces. Well, the contracts were staggered. Every 3 years there was a different contract, and so as time went on, this began to be a real burden on general contractors, because every time there was a minor dispute or a major dispute and somebody put up a picket line, well, every other skilled craftsperson that belonged to the union honored the picket line, so work was being stopped. There was a lot of stoppage on construction projects along the way. And so after about 4 or 5 years of trying to deal with this, my brother Bob talked to me about another way of doing construction, and the only way we figured out was, because of the different legislation that was in place at the time, was to start up a new company. So I eagerly started this company in 1962. And we called it Conart Builders. So as time went on, being a non-union company, I was not able to attend AGC meetings, which is the other trade organization that the union contractors had belonged to, and Nabholz Construction Company was one of those. But I, as a non-union contractor, along with a few other general contractors, like ConArc, we had no trade association to help us along the way with different items. So I organized a sort of an informal group of contractors and met about every other month in Little Rock, and we talked about different issues. And then in the meantime, I was reading about this merit shop concept. I hadn't heard of it before, and in the middle of the wintertime, I saw this opportunity to go to the Grand Bahama Islands to attend this ABC company that I'd never heard of, but I thought, well, this is a good way for me to find out a little bit about ABC and also enjoy a little winter vacation. So Charlotte and I, in order to do that, I had to become a member at large. And so I became a member at large, and I went to the meetings, and as I was introduced at the meeting, I was the only person from Arkansas there. And so immediately the national membership director from ABC, who had their offices in Washington, asked me about coming to Arkansas and talking about starting a chapter. So it was in a month or so. Well, he was in Conway, and Charlotte and I entertained him at home, and he talked about what would have to happen to get an association started. So I already had this nucleus of friends that I was talking to, and I also knew two general contractors from Fort Smith, Richard Griffin and Leo Anhalt, were friends of mine. And when I explained to them what ABC was about, they said, "Well, this is a whole lot more. We need ABC. This is what we're looking for." So they came to Little Rock, and there was another contractor or two that came, and we met with this national director, and we talked about the benefits of belonging to Associated Builders and Contractors. So we met in Little Rock, and we had a real good meeting, and we made a list of other contractors that we thought might be good candidates to belong to ABC. And after 2 or 3 meetings, we were able to get a group together, and we elected a team of incorporators, I believe. If you'll look at the records, I believe it was a man by the name of Harry Washburn, myself, and Ray Richardson and Bob Cox were originally the official incorporators. Then there was a board of directors that was added to it, and that included Richard Griffin and Leo Anhalt, and I think it was Carl, a painting contractor, and several other people. I think Robert East came on a little bit later, but then a man by the name of Joe Gillespie from Carlisle, Arkansas, was our second executive director, and I believe it was the third director was Bob Harrelson, and I was on a committee to elect a new director, and we've had about 15 candidates, and we flipped through there, and this one guy had a list of resume of jobs that he'd done ever since he was 13 years old, and it was just like out of this world types. We just discarded that immediately because we didn't think that we thought it was a made-up deal. The bottom line is, when we went through all somebody said, "Well, let's just interview the guy." And it ended up being a fantastic director. He increased our membership about tenfold, and he ended up being chief of staff of Governor Frank White when Frank became governor of Arkansas. So anyway, it's interesting how a man like that took the membership and increased it by 10 times. But that made our chapter really strong. For various reasons, we elected Bob Cox as the first president, and then he was from Little Rock. He was a general contractor. And then the next president was Leo Anhalt from Fort Smith, and I was the third president. And then from there on, we kind of alternated on. The chapter grew, and it met the needs of a lot of general contractors. And the good thing about Associated Builders and Contractors compared to AGC is that every firm was an equal member. We had subcontractors and suppliers and anybody associated with the construction industry. that was interested that we felt like could benefit chapter as well as the individual companies were invited to become a member of ABC. And that meant a lot to the subcontractors because under the AGC method, there was not an equal partnership. It was just general contractors and building contractors. And then you had associate members that were really not full members. So ABC promoted the idea that everybody in the construction business should be a full member. So fast forward then to all these years, when ABC was growing, it began to offer different services to its membership. There was opportunities for apprenticeship training. I think the electrical and plumbing training was added to the program, and then there was a lot of networking between contractors and its membership, and that was a great opportunity for people to understand what's going on between the membership and get exchange information. Of course, leadership development is really important to our firm, and we have tried real hard to offer leadership opportunities for our people to grow within our company. And ABC does an excellent job in providing this leadership training for its members. And also, in addition to that, we have a very effective in being political, involving construction issues on a state level. And so the power of ABC and through its membership has been really effective over the years, and it's strong and it's great for Arkansas. Well, happy anniversary, ABC of Arkansas.